I think I forgot how to do this. Yo, it's Mac.
And Alexis.
Yeah, this is the Judge Us Not podcast. We back at the courthouse. And of course, we got my boy Dame in the building. Yeah,
Yes,
what's on the
sir.
case,
and
man?
in the building, we have the beautiful Miss Jai Harris, fairly new author.
Hey.
You know what I mean? In here with the book. You see the book on the table and everything.
Yeah.
Spiritual gas up. Go cop that.
The spiritual gas up.
It's a lot of pages, but I'm going to read it.
Yeah.
But it's 365, so you just pick one day.
It's very easy. It's really an easy read. That's
It
what I
is.
love about it. I just could read it one page a day. It's good.
I take a book with me every day at work and tell myself I'm going to read it at free time. And I shit, don't fucking
You
read that
literally
shit.
just pick one page because
Yep.
it's day 1 to day 365.
That's what's
I
up.
did. It's intentional.
That's what's up. I like
love
it.
And it's since we're on the spiritual gas up,
Yeah.
we want to talk about this is it. The spiritual, what is it? Can you be spiritual and still do ratchet things? What is spirituality? And is it important and not important, etc.? That's what we unpacking for the first case.
Yeah.
Man.
So,
what y'all think? Let's define these words first.
Yeah, let's. I want to.
Spiritual and ratchet. I want to know what y'all, because what's ratchet to me might not be ratchet to somebody else.
Yeah,
but you know
no,
what
I
mean?
think ratchet. I think ratchet is a clear definition for everybody.
I feel like everybody knows
What's ratchet? Let me give me an example of something ratchet that a man could do.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, see?
That is kind
Yeah,
of
I guess.
hard.
Yeah, I guess you. All right, all right.
Is it being what's that, promiscuous, having sex with multiple people? Is that being ratchet?
That is. When you community, I don't know.
I don't
if
think
you
that's
can
ratchet
say
though.
You don't think that's ratchet?
I don't think that's
That
ratchet.
is ratchet.
If a woman has sex with a lot of women, would she be categorized as ratchet?
When she slept with all the women?
I mean, a lot of men. A lot of men. Or women. Shit, it's 2021. Man.
I wouldn't consider it ratchet, but
Yeah.
I definitely feel some way about it.
Is ratchet, would you...
So, okay, let me give you one example of a man being ratchet, posting hella money on social media. That's ratchet.
Yeah, I
Really?
agree. I see that. I can see that.
The bills up, like,
Okay, so
in a
let's
certain way, too.
yeah.
So let's say this. Let's say this. Ratchet is doing too much that's unnecessary.
Yeah. I
So-
got you.
Trying to get attention. And I mean, but it's not always a bad thing, I don't think.
It's a way and you do it. Like, you can do it
Yeah.
subtle. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Because sometimes you could be viewed as ratchet if you just having fun, right? Like to certain people.
But a fine line.
But if that's what you do, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess I guess I see what you're saying. Like if you are ratchet, I see
When
what
I hear
you're saying.
ratchet, I picture, especially like for instance, a woman. When I think ratchet, I think late night at the gas station, slapping, twerking on the hood, like
Playing loud music.
playing loud music, kind of fired up, being
Grizzly every time you come to
being hella loud in the store. You know the people be FaceTiming hella loud, don't give a fuck with nobody. Like those are little ratchet tendencies to me.
So what you think? What you think it'll be from a man? The same thing, but
Man,
just
I
not
think
twerking.
The same thing. And I almost would want to say it blurs the line, almost like what people would think of as like almost kind of like hood or like ghetto, like what people would embody that in. The same thing. Like if I'm going into a store, I ain't got a liquor store, I ain't got no shirt on. You know what I'm saying? I'm slapping. I leave my car running, slapping it. People might think, oh, boy, he's hella ghetto, or they might be like, man, he's ratchet.
To be fair, that is a substitute. That's a substitute word
it's
for
very
it.
similar.
Yeah, it's a substitute word for it.
But I feel like you could have both, though. I mean,
Yeah, we could definitely be
right?
spiritual.
Have your routines and.
Yeah.
I mean, now too they have what trap yoga.
Yep.
Hey, that sounds fun.
That shit's lit. I think they was at the spot where we had in Richmond. I think they was doing a shoot or something like that there. I think.
And the reason why I think that's crazy because I was, I remember you was talking about like music, like changing your energy or whatever, like depending on what music you listen to. I was listening to some hood shit today, and I was just like, damn, I really enjoy this shit, though. You feel me?
Yeah.
I was like, I really enjoy listening to this shit. I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, it's just something about it. It's just like, I just need it, bro. It's like, I just
Yeah,
need
but
it.
you could be in the mood for it for sure. It was a song that used to get me through
What is
studying
it?
in college.
What is it?
Sugar free.
Sugar free? Oh.
I'd rather give you my bitch.
Oh yeah,
Prepare
that's
me
that
for a test.
one. I ain't
For
gonna
real.
lie, that's
Like,
that one though.
that used to have me pumped for a
Oh,
test.
shit.
I
Yeah.
think there's a sense of like nostalgic in it too, like especially on some bass shit. If you like,
Oh,
it
for
kind of
sure.
gives you that sense of tribalism or something, like how we always be talking about, like kind of like, oh yeah, this is some bass shit right
and
now.
I know it's definitely based on my mood. Like if I'm just chilling, I'm like, okay, let me put something smooth on, whatever the case is. But if I feel like I'm in my mode, like I'm rolling, I got all the windows down, I'm just like, oh, whatever. I'm finna put on some hood shit so everybody can hear this shit.
Yeah, so you kind of ratchet, bro. That's a ratchet.
See, and that's the hard part.
That's
too,
why I call it nigga shit, man. I gotta be my man.
I feel like
fuck
these are all
this,
similar
man.
like phrases. You feel me? They all
But see,
kinda-
this is how I know it changes though. This is how I know I really be on some nigga shit because when I'm on the freeway, I know nobody can hear. I roll up the windows and shit.
Yep. Only when they
I
can hear.
just feel like nobody ain't listening to shit. Nobody, unless I'm in a car with people. But for the most part, if I'm solo, I'm like, ain't nobody give a fuck about what you doing over here. But I don't know.
See, and that's the hard part too, because if you get viewed as ratchet, people don't think that you can have like a spiritual.
Exactly. They don't take you serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like
So
one is obsolete, but I think too that's because like spirituality kind of gets intertwined with like religious dogma, like religious rules. People think that it's the same thing when realistically it's not.
yeah, not at all.
It's just kind of going inward.
Well, I ain't gonna say
and,
not
you
at
know,
all because it is kind of like they all kind of coexist. It's just that religious is kind of more like guidelines, I guess, or
Rules,
like a
right?
rule.
Yeah.
And that's what they said the Bible stands for: basic instructions before you leave Earth, before you leave Earth.
Yeah,
So,
but I think in being ratchet, you probably be more socially acceptable in spirituality than walking into a Christian church with no shirt on.
So
I heard God said, "Take me as I am." Right? You can't take me as I am.
for real. So back to kind of what we had just said, like if a man or a woman they're carrying themselves in a ratchet way, does that like change your impression of them? Like say I'm doing, some hot shit, I'm revving my car, loud music, I'm talking hella loud, cussing hella much, like is that gonna make you put me in a box? Cause that's honestly, I have a confession. That's what I do. If I see a woman doing certain things, it's cool. I'm not judging, do you? But I'm definitely putting you in a box. Is that wrong? I'm putting you in the fun box for sure.
Not at all.
Don't call me. Don't hit me with the. I have boundaries. Nah, bitch. You in this box? You know what I'm saying? Like that's where I fuck up.
She can't get out the box.
Yo, bro, you in the box, bro. I know that sounds so
This
bad, but
motherfucker's
it's
like Toy Story with Andy's toys. You're like, oh, you're going in the.
you in the ratchet box, man.
Right,
And
no
that's
getting out.
that's so bad of me, and I realize that really.
See, but what are
is.
you
She
looking
don't
at
get to
her
sleep on the
at,
bed,
like in
bro.
the
She
context of somebody that you would want to be with, or just some random person that you just see? Oh, like, oh, what's up? What, just my partner. or shit
It's
like
almost
that.
like a
think
limit. When you have too many, like so many ratchet characteristics, I'll still fuck with you, but you're never, like you said, never getting out of that box. Unless you really
she's
start
saying-
taking away some of them things or something like, you
Then,
know what I mean?
yeah.
But she's saying, like, are you going into it, like, looking at this person that you want to be with them, or are you looking at it like, how are you going into it?
Because do you have people in your life that are ratchet and you just like kind of
Yeah, and I keep them, and see,
like
that's
you wouldn't take them to like a
yeah.
convocation ball or
But I
something.
think that's what he's saying. Like, when he first meets you and you're doing this, that's already there. Okay, she's over here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
think that's kind of where.
And
he
that's what I
goes
struggle with
it.
because then I almost feel like kind of
You don't get a chance to like really know him.
that, and I feel like because I'll entertain certain shit, but then when they want to go to whatever you just say, like when they want to go to some shit that's not ratchet, I'm
Can
like,
they
hold on,
turn
girl,
it
you know
down?
you in a box, I can't take you over there. Like,
see, that's
so that's
hard, though.
fucked up. You
That's
feel me?
hard, yeah, because then you might miss out on something.
Yeah, exactly. And I struggle with it. So it's like, do I just not entertain it and just, you know what I'm saying? I have like a little, you know what I'm saying?
I get it. It's like
It's an internal,
It is an
tug of
I
war.
think I could be wrong. I think when you go into that, you in your head, I'm speaking for you, in your head, you think I think you put out like if you're willing to act like that in public like this, I know I can't bring you here. You know what I'm saying? I think is that
Yeah,
maybe
and
because that's how I go with it. Because that's I put people in a box all the time. Because if I know I can't if I feel, I think it all comes down with embarrassment. Like if I feel like you're gonna be embarrassing me when we go somewhere, like I'm not taking you with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm not taking you with me.
Yeah,
you
I
can't.
think, and to add to that,
Sit
I
at the
think
kids' table.
Yeah, it's like I being in that box, you get certain things from me, and we have a good time, this and that, to where then it's like. Then like feelings get invested or like time is wanted, this and that, and then that's when I be like, oh, hold on, I only do ratchet shit once a month. Like you can't get no other day. Like I only like it. So then I feel like I'm using people because like I almost use people as vacations. Like when I want to go do some ratchet shit, when I want that vacation, but like you use the person to have a certain experience, but that's all I want you for. Because on my day to day, I can't really be. I can't
because if you get into a place because.
That's
why
shady?
I say I feel like I live like.
I think that's everybody though.
It is because you grow and progress, and then some people don't. You know, and it's like I feel like I've lived like 3 different lifetimes in this one because I was the ratchet person at one point. But then I got into a place where I had stuff to lose.
Yeah.
But do you still try to dip back?
Sometimes.
Yeah, that's what the music's for. That's what.
But not to a sense to where I don't care. Like I think it boils down to like your integrity and like your core values. So I mean, you could be ratchet to an extent, like where it's like respectful still to yourself and other people and how you view it. I guess.
Yeah, I think I dip back too deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like I try to, you know.
Yeah, no, you definitely an onion peeler, bro.
Yeah, because like even when we went out the other night, you know, I try to just dip in, but like nah, if we gonna do it, let's do it. And I dip in too deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because there's just some places I'm not gonna go these days. Like I got a son, you know.
Yeah.
I have a career. I own a business. Like, it's just some stuff I can't do no more. Like before college, though, I used to be in the Johns and the Manor, like chilling.
And I think with me, I just think that I was never just into it like to the fullest. Like I was always big on
be specific though, into what? Like what?
Like ratchetness, I guess. Like I was never big on. I'm big on public appearance. So I was never into doing wild shit so everybody can see me do it. That was never my thing, which is why social media is like never my thing. It's like I just don't live in that world to be like, look at me. You know what I'm saying? That's just it's not my cup of tea. It's just I'm trying to do social media a little bit. But I just
So does it like make you cringe when you see people doing that?
It does. Because it just it makes me question, like, why are you doing this? I want to know why are you doing it. And then when people give me that vague ass accent, because I wanted to, because I thought it was fun. It's like, but why are you doing it though?
Yeah.
So
let's dive into that. Like as far as like you see people out the club and, you know, even girls out the club and they friends is twerking, they on the ground dancing with somebody, and then before the phones come out, what is the psychology in that moment?
In the twerking.
No, not even the twerking, but just like, because it's not me doing it. I'm displaying my friend do it. Get it, girl. We'll fuck it up.
It depends on the circumstance and the place. Because there's probably videos of me out there. Like,
yeah.
Like I went to an event in Vegas recently. It was a pool party, and people was like, they seen me in some people's backgrounds in videos. But it was the place for that. You know?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like it was a Bay DJ, and we was, you know, lit. But now if I'm leaving outside the hospital and I got on my scrubs, I'm not busting it open.
See, and that's a good example right there. Like seeing somebody on Instagram or whatever, TikTok, whatever social media that everybody want to use. Like you would see somebody at work or whatever, and you just like, what made you put your phone up to be like, I'm about to go do this right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just find that
there's a lot of different reasons though. A lot of different reasons. Like what I was talking about with my kids when I used to post my kids. I peeled back the onion, and it was really me internally trying to be like, look at everybody. I'm a good dad.
What I liked about that is that you admitted it.
Because a lot of people do that, and they will never
that's what just about everybody does. And they say, oh, why? Because I want my bullshit. You did it because you want somebody to be like, oh, I'm a good person. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. Oh, like when people like go donate money or like stuff, and then they record it or like give somebody some food. Like you really didn't need to.
Yeah, you didn't do that. So back to the rest of shit. Like if I'm somebody, I for sure don't like the phones when we doing ratchet shit or whatever, but somebody that will, when they are recording that person, is it maybe like, look, y'all, we lit, we fired up, like we having fun? Is it part of that? Because then sometimes I think it's, look at this fool, look what this fool doing, he acting a fool. It ain't me though. Like sometimes it's one
like to highlight one other thing. Yeah, it just depends on the person. I mean, I feel like when it comes to recording and putting stuff on social media, everybody puts a highlight reel of everything that's good, trying to make other people, not all the time, no, but a lot of it is just to highlight, you know, something to make people feel like they want to be there, or, you know, sometimes the intention is different. I really think it depends on that, though, like what the intention is. Like,
because you see people post people passed out drunk.
Like,
ain't nothing fun about that. They literally are trying to, like, put this cat on blast or this woman on blast. Like, it's a tool. You feel me? It get real.
Yeah.
It get real.
But I feel like you could be ratchet and be spiritual, but I just think it depends on, like, your intention.
Yeah.
Like,
so
I kind of want to turn up just talking about this.
So
I mean, because you get, I mean,
see, I'm only.
It is Friday.
I'm only willing to get like that when I'm around people that I fuck with, that I know that wouldn't take advantage of me to be like, oh, I'm about to record them, do some wild shit.
Sure.
If I'm hanging out, if I'm with Al, whatever, and we doing the most, I know Al ain't finna put his phone out to be like, look at me. You know what I'm saying? But we just finna do some ratchet shit together. You know what I'm saying?
Be too fucked up to do that.
Yeah, I think too, it's like we have this conception that if you're spiritual, you have to be one way and look one way. Yeah. And I think that takes away from the humanness in us.
Yeah.
Like,
see, but this is where I was getting to before, is that is it different in person or is it different online? I think if somebody recorded me doing some ratchet shit, it's different. But me posting some ratchet shit is not is out of bounds to me, because I will want to show you my best. But if somebody caught me doing whatever, that's cool. Look, this is how I get when I'm drunk or whatever the case is. You feel me? But if I'm deciding to be like, oh, I'm about to record myself, do some, pull my gun out and show this dude or do this and that, it's just like, what is that for? Like,
I've been in a place though where I've been like, I drank way too much, and then go back and look at my stories the next day, like, oh.
But you want to
know?
You ever
had to delete some shit?
You want to know why I think that happened?
It ain't never got wild like anything crazy.
You want to know why I think that happened? Is because your muscle memory is getting on your phone and recording stuff.
Oh, for sure. And our phones are glued to our hands in general.
See, that's not mine. So like, I don't. When I see something happen, my first thing is not, oh shit, I gotta record this shit. Like, it's just I'm good with just seeing it. You know
because you in the moment or whatever the case may be, or whoever you trying to influence. Like some people,
I tell a story the best way I could, bro. I seen this shit, man. This
shit.
Then I can make up my story.
You just kind of want to go back and have some way of remembering.
Yeah,
too.
For sure.
But you do find that nowadays, because of social media, people don't live in the moment.
Not at all.
And the phones do take away from it.
That's
for sure.
I will love, like, if I was like some celebrity, I would love to have somebody around to just record me, but never would I be the one taking, because I just like moments. Like, I don't want to take a picture, just take a picture of me doing something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I don't want to pose. Like, that shit is weak to me. I just feel like, just catch
Another thing too is just what I had to like check when it comes to social media and like being just out and about and doing stuff, is like not posting while I'm there. I done had people pull up on me. I'm like,
oh yeah, weird. It gets real. A lot of people like just be don't post, but just be gathering all of it, and they'll post the shit like a week later or something. And
I do that now.
I guess that's the way to do it, right?
Yeah, because I never realized like people, and I don't even post my son that much either, just because I feel like some intimate parts of yourself can't be online. And
you want to know why I think that is, that people hold it? Because it's impossible to get shit done when you're recording. You have to do what you have to do and then tell people that you did this. Like, you can't be at a meeting and be like, yo, I just got to this meeting, about to sit down and talk about, it's like, you gotta go to work, nigga. You gotta do shit.
Tell him, Matt. Tell him.
I'm just
wholeheartedly endorse what Max said.
There you go, Dame. Dame on my team today.
Yeah. Damn.
But see, too, that's also, it's hard to kind of censor it, because that's what social media is for, too. It's you're supposed to be, it's a highlight reel to post things and interact with people and be social.
Yeah.
But
it's promotion to me.
Well, it can be, for sure.
For anything. Like, you can say you're just posting this just because you just feel like whatever, but you're promoting your personality. You're promoting, because that's kind of how I feel like a lot of women get on their Instagram, like if they're single or whatever, they just post like crazy. Because to me, it's advertisement.
Yeah,
Well,
I look at it the same way. How you feel about that? How you feel about that?
I feel like too the way I post is different from when I'm in a relationship and when I'm not.
Yeah.
See, and that's crazy. Why?
Because like.
Because you putting out the menu.
In a sense,
you gotta
right?
put that menu out there.
So is that what you're doing? Can you honestly? I want somebody to admit it. Can you honestly say that when I'm single, I'm fishing at this point? Like I'm putting myself out there to be like.
She not fishing.
Well, of course she not.
She putting out the menu.
Yeah.
Like this is on the menu.
It can be, but I ain't biting everything.
Yeah,
of course.
If I'm feeling myself, I see myself, and I'm like, oh, I look cute today. Let me just.
Yeah.
Let
me show
and
the
people
world.
bite. I mean,
of course, people go.
But that's what social media is for. But I do post differently when I'm not in a relationship, for sure.
But not everybody does. Some people, they stay on that, you know what I mean? And then they feel away.
And then they be like, well, I was like this before you met me. It's just like, it's a different ball game now.
Or something, right?
Yeah, it's like it's a different ball game.
Yeah. But the crazy part is, too, that that was the hardest thing about this book was putting myself out there in a sense of wanting people to buy something that I believed in, because I typically would put myself on social media as like posting a picture, not talking, or like, but this, like, I really had to kind of really, like how you said, like a promotion, so I really had to put myself out there to sell it. And that was kind of what took it so long to come out, because I felt like, what if people don't like it?
Trying to wrap your mind around that.
Yeah, it was just like, fears and insecurity that stop us in a lot of stuff that we do.
Yeah, I think, because I used to do music.
We had to deal with that doing this.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because neither one of us like social media people.
Ain't no social butterflies on social media, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
so it's definitely something. Like my page has been private forever. I had the same amount of followers, the same. I didn't add nobody. Like, but until we started the podcast, I had to like accept a list of people, because I just wouldn't accept anybody, because if I don't deal with you on a day-to-day basis, then why do you want to follow me? I just feel like, why do you?
I get the same way, and I just, because I'm very like, okay, I have my moments when I go out with my friends and I'm posting ratchet shit in my story or whatever, but I'm very like personal, like nobody, unless I'm in a relationship for hell long, you don't even see a foot. But
I don't have one picture of my kids on my social
media. I don't like posting my son like that. So for me to have to like really just be out there like that, I was like, oh God, like on a one-on-one basis, it's cool. But then I didn't want to deal with the criticism. But my intention was greater than my fear.
Yeah. That's I think that's a big part of it.
And I just think with that, even though, like I told you when I had the conversation with my wife and shit, like how I want to clear shit up with her, you know what I'm saying? Just because I felt like, same thing with my kids, is I just feel like they didn't sign up for this. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And for me to put them out there is just, it's selfish. You know what I'm saying? So for my personal gain or whatever the case is.
It's
so it's
hard
just like,
because you can look at it both ways, because it's like, you can think of it that way, but then you're being authentic. Yeah. So that they can learn that out of that aspect, opposed to just it being selfish. Yeah, seeing my dad kept it real from the gate.
But to me, it's just feel like me doing it without them acknowledging it is like me sneaking doing something. Like I just feel like they didn't ask for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a big part of it.
But see, the growth in that, in you as a parent, because our generation of parents would do shit and didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, like, I'm doing this.
Don't ask me no questions. Do as I say, not as I do. So it's like, for you to be in a place where you actually feel that and can speak that out loud, it's gonna give, when they see that or hear that, look at you in a different light.
Fucking train. Yeah. I'm like, damn, that shit.
But no, that's real. That's real. That's actually, even like what he was just saying, that's what got me to kind of like stop posting my kids, because I had to think for a second. I was like, because I tell my son, like, get in a picture. Yeah. I almost found I'm like, I'm really over here telling them like, hurry up, take a picture so people can see I'm doing good. Like that's what my mindset was doing. There was no other reason. You feel me? It was just because of that.
And that's the thing too, why I kind of respect people who are ratchet, because they kind of are free spirited in a sense when they post it. Opposed to people who call themselves
that is attractive.
He said that is attractive.
No, really. I'll fuck with some ratchet ass women.
Because they're authentic in a sense of people who are on social media who claim to be spiritual are like the most inauthentic people.
But the question comes back to,
they propose themselves as completely perfect most of the time. When realistically, spirituality is getting through the shit that's not perfect. It's how you survive the other stuff that isn't.
Yeah.
But do you think the ratchetness is sometimes them being free spirit, or are they just doing it for attention?
Sometimes I feel like they just themselves. Sometimes when you have to think in a sense of like, are you doing this right now? Like, clearly, this is you with no filter, because I feel like we filter ourselves back in a sense of what everybody else is going to think about us. Those people really, literally kind of live.
We got to. We can't slap a motherfucker because I feel like it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Or somebody who just being outside, being hella loud and like really feeling they set or how they feeling. They have no resolve for what other people think about them. And that realistically, they're kind of in a space of being more free than some of these other people, because we limited by what other people think.
I guess you could say you know who's like, who really mean it, like who really that type, and just like, nigga, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
So let me hit you with this though. Like, that's real. What you're saying, I really get that. But there's also this whole lane of people that do kind of outlandish shit or hella outspoken to cover up what's really going on.
Oh, facts.
Because that's a big part of it. Because I've been around a lot of women like that where, you know, you take the drinks away, you take the makeup, this and that, you really get to talking to them. They are hurting. They the most unhappy, sad, insecure, ready to just leave this place.
That's me. Damn, trying to break out of my shell. Like why I put the highlights on Instagram? Like if I'm never saying anything like crazy on Instagram. I'm always like posting like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Check out the podcast, yada yada yada. Right? Yeah. But it's like I know I can't talk this shit that I talk. I can, but my thing is I don't want to put out that energy out there. Like if I'm being down, why would I want somebody to read my shit and be down with me? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I feel. Like if I'm in a bad mood, why would I want to transfer that to somebody else?
But then you think of it in that context, where realistically it could help somebody who is down, who's afraid to talk.
Yeah, but if I'm not coming into it like, damn, this is what's going on, and I'm just trying to get through it. If I'm coming out with like negative, like, man, fuck this is what happened.
Well, yeah, it depends on like how you say it. It depends on how you deliver it.
But that's how it always coming out with me. You feel me? So I can't be.
Especially if you come with some solutions, like say like, hey, this is what I'm doing, but it's good. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna overcome this. That's like another lane too.
Right. Just because people don't like to put themselves out there. Yeah. Or they do it in a way where it's like comedic, right? They say the most people who are
the darkest people are comedians. Yeah.
Like all the people who, so many people have killed themselves like comedians have. And they are the funniest people, but realistically they haven't coped with the stuff that's going on inside of them.
That's that front, that mask, you know what I mean?
That is they coping, you know what I'm saying? Like let me talk about this thing and share my darkness and give them light out of my darkness, you know what I'm saying? To let them know that their life is not as hard as they may think it is, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people just been through. Like, I think my life was hella whatever. But I look at other people like, shit, you had it way worse than I did. You know what I'm saying? So it's just people, and they can be happy more than I am. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, how can we just got to figure out. I just think we just all different as people. We just can't process things the same. And that's why I hate when people be like, oh, man, I did this, you can do it too. It's not the same thing. Yeah. I'm not you.
Yeah, because I had to stop having that expectation for people. And that's really like, in a
Have you ever pushed spirituality on somebody?
I have.
Like, why your wretched ass can't just do
when I get in this, and that's when I had to realize that everybody's on their own journey. Yeah, oh my God, even before spirituality, just because I went to college. I left to go to college. I went to Howard. So, and where I came from, like my daddy didn't even graduate high school, and my mom, she was pregnant with me when she was trying to go to college. Thank God she kept me. But so I was trying to tell everybody like they could go to college too, trying to tell people, and it was like that wasn't their journey, and they still made it to be successful in their own in their own right. Yeah. So, but it was like me trying to push what I wanted to do on other people. In a sense, I understood or came into a place of knowing that people are on their own journeys.
Yeah.
And it's never like a comparison thing or anything's better or things are, because I think good and bad is such a fallacy. I think all of that
it really is.
It's based on perspective. Yeah.
And that's what's crazy. Like I know we brought this up before. I'm just like, what if I like doing bad things? What if I like it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
or wretched things. Or me. What if I like doing wretched things?
What if it's, you may call me an evil person, but I just like to do this type of shit. Why is that a crime?
Because we've been programmed and imprinted to think this is good, this is bad. There's really the laws of the universe are like balance and karma. Realistically, there's no good and there's no bad. It's all perspective.
Yeah.
And it all comes from like cognitive dissonance. It's like we've been told something is bad for so long, so when we see it, it gives us like a visceral reaction.
I don't see
feel something, but it's like, but I kind of do that when nobody's looking.
See, that's where my spirituality come in at. I think we're not taught that. I think we just know that something is bad. You know what I'm saying? You feel it. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
you like,
yeah, in some instances, when
this just don't feel right. You know what I'm saying?
In a sense of like your core beliefs, like because it's who you are to your spirit, to your soul. Like, so the things that you may have witnessed and that just don't sit right with you, like
and the environment too.
Right, and that may be normal for other people, you know, and that's true. Like environment, where you live, where you came from. Because I used to always wonder too, like, because I grew up religious, like in a religious household where we had to go to church and all of that. It was like not a choice, but I never really understood like why, and it was Christianity. I used to wonder like, well, what about the people in like India where there's like no Christians, or like, you know, thinking places like, say they just gonna die, like, you know. So that's when I started thinking in the concept of like, it's kind of what you're exposed to, and individually what you believe for yourself. You know, spirituality is an individual journey in a way that religion is like encompassed in a group.
And that's the reason why I never argue with religion, because it's just like there's no right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? There's like, because every religion think they're the best. So there's
Right.
there's no conversation we can have. It's just you believe what you believe. That's it. That's all to it.
Right. And then it's like they all kind of have good points.
They all tell you God-like ways.
Right.
So
I'm
whether
like,
what you do,
like...
if you make a point to do this, then hey, that's on you. It's just people just, and that's when I realized that people are who they are. Because I could love like hurting things, right? I can just love like killing, for example, right? And I can just be like, I can find religion and be like, oh, well, now I can kill in the name of God. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, that's what they did.
But that's my point. It's just like you just finding a reason to do the same evil shit that you've been doing.
Right,
you know
right. You just now have something to justify.
Now you just got something to justify it. So it's just people. That's when I realized that people don't really change. They just find something else to like tie it into. You feel me? To make it a purpose, I guess. To take it a purpose. So.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think? Like, it was the spirituality? Because you hear a lot of people saying that now. Like, you know, in the recent years, like, oh, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. Do you think that word itself is kind of like giving people like, I don't got to deal with all these religions or these, you know, who do I like this, I like that. I'm gonna just say I'm spiritual. It's like kind of like I don't know. I don't want to say a cop out, but like, do you think a lot of people?
I think it can be in a sense. I just think it gives people the freedom.
I'm gonna give you a quick answer on that. I just think people gave up on religion. You know what I'm saying? Because the way religion. Because when people start, that's the reason why I don't like to say what I am. You know what I'm saying? Just because people, well, he acting like that and he's supposed to be this and that, and it's just like now you're using that. So when you go to a church or a mosque or whatever, you end up seeing people, then you find out they do something foul, and it's just like, I ain't even with this. You know what I'm saying? Then it turns you off that religion because. You had this
because you had this experience with this individual person.
Exactly.
Right, because I know some awesome Christians, I know some awesome Muslims, like, who really live by that, like, pray every day. My son's dad, he's a Muslim, so, like, his whole family, they do that. Like, they live by it. And, like, you know, it just depends on the person. Like, but even then still, we hold certain standards to people who identify with those things when realistically they are still human, just like everybody else. I think spirituality gave people an out to not have to feel like they needed to be perfect.
And that's deep right there because people will always identify you with something regardless.
Oh, for sure.
So,
you know, and that's the thing too. I'm kind of glad I didn't.
Me being black or whatever, he black, so he must like this or whatever the case is.
For sure. I'm kind of glad that you didn't pressure me to like really introduce myself, because I always trip up in that because I'm like, okay,
what label do you give my like? What
yeah,
label do
because
I give
when
myself?
people ask you like who you are, and I'm like, okay, I'm an occupational therapist. Yeah, I'm a mom. Yeah, I own a business. Yeah,
I wear many hats.
I wrote a book.
I almost said all that, but then I was like, I want to I kind of really want to push the book because I love this book.
Yeah,
so
I appreciate it. No, but I love that I didn't have that pressure because it makes me cringe because I feel like all of those are just roles.
Yeah.
They're not who I am to the core. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem, especially when it comes to like relationships and dating.
Yeah.
Because we want to know what somebody got in their roles and their labels, but we don't want to know who they are to the core, like the characteristics. Like, are you a liar? Do you steal?
She said, "Did you steal?"
I be want to get rid of all labels. All labels. Just get rid of everything.
I feel like it would put people in a place of really exposing who they are, because people come in with their mask on.
But
and
I
it's
can't.
Like you just go based on like what somebody got on, what they drive.
But I feel like you need labels though, because that's
what?
Because that's what words are.
I get rid of words too.
Because to me, that's just taking away language. That's just taking away language. Like we identify ourselves to these things. That's what.
But then
just like Dame like to call me a contrarian.
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 Yeah, you for sure. Yeah.
I'm not though. Yeah. I'm not though. But it's a label that he gave me because of what I keep doing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just.
But the thing is with that, it's like. And I'm taking this in a sense of like dating, because dating is ghetto right now. I'm gonna stop saying that because I don't want it to be.
That's another label, ghetto.
It's real though.
Yeah.
But like, I think when we see all that stuff, it appears to be the characteristics are like, okay, he got a job, you know, he got all of this, but then it's like he don't respect his mom. His baby mama's a bitch every other day. Like, you know, like, damn, I wish I'd have seen that shit first, opposed to like all this extra shit, because all that stuff becomes extra.
That's how I feel about my life, bro. I be going through life, be like, damn, man, I really just want to do some dumb shit. I be driving like, damn, what if I just fucking just hit this car? Like, what if I just like?
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, I feel that though. There be times where I be want to do like irresponsible shit, like ratchet shit, but you get to a point where like you get in this
and
space.
Then you get mad at yourself because you know you're in a position where you can't do it. You're like, damn, I know if I do this, it's gonna fuck up my whole brand, and I can't even be an asshole if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. I think that's what kind of like alcohol does for me. It turns that off. Like, as soon as I start drinking, too. I ain't got no more labels. I ain't got no family, no kids,
that's when
nothing.
You see the ratchet shit.
Yeah, that's where the ratchet shit come out. It's like
I'm just in here.
Yeah, it's a mental vacation. You feel me? Like, I mentally can check out of all those labels. I
don't like
and all
that
shit.
though, because lately it's been like, because I've been trying to find a balance, but lately it's been like when I do drink, I'm like, and I've been in a place where I can kind of track it to where it's not extreme, right? But then it's like certain times I'm like, okay, I need to slow down a little bit because it's getting too much to where it's like.
Or just ask yourself why, like what's really going on, what's happening? Because I realize that like that is what I'm doing. I'm checking out because I've made my whatever it is. I've made my schedule that month so packed, and I've been pulled in all these different directions.
So you haven't had a time to kind of free yourself.
So I'm just checking out. I'm mentally like a you know how the ghost be coming out the body and shit. Like I literally want to leave this. You know what I'm saying?
I know for me, when I get into a place where I overindulge, it's because something else is happening in my life that I'm not addressing completely. The last time I got really drunk and it was like too much, it was when I was in my relationship. It was like I knew I wasn't supposed to be in it anymore. And my way of responding to that was through self-medication.
But that's what I was going to say. I think you were addressing it in a different way, though.
But not that was authentic to myself, and I was battling with my spirit inside. So subconsciously, like consciously, I was making excuses for it.
For doing it.
For staying in it, because I knew and I wasn't being straightforward. And then, but I think when you tap into being drunk or drinking, like that goes into your subconscious. And it's like, that's when you like medicating at that point.
Instead of figuring out why, you know what I mean? Like an example I just said, like
you stuffing it down.
Don't book as many people. You know what I mean? Or I won't go out. I won't go out hella long, and I won't like have like female interaction or nothing for like a long period of time. To where then I go out and then I'm like, you know what? I want you. I ain't mess with no girl in a minute. I want all y'all. You know what I mean? All that. It's like a purge starts happening. You know what I mean? When really. If I, now that I'm knowing that and stuff, it's like, nah, it's okay. Just maybe go out once a week or something, and you ain't gotta go.
See, the good part about it is that you're aware of it. Though. Yeah. Like, cause even outside with me getting out of the relationship in July, like I've been on dates, but it's like not dealing with anybody. I haven't been drunk because I really want to get to the root of why the things happen the way that they did. You know? Because in the past, I'd be like, oh, let me just move on to the next, let me go do this. But none of that shit was making me feel better. None of it was helping me grow. So it's like, I have to sit back and analyze, like how you were talking about, you analyze every little thing and see why it was that it panned out that way. Why did I stay in it that long? Why was the outcome this way? And how can I change that to where, because I know what I want. And through every situation, I look at it as a blessing because it teaches me more and more what I want and what I don't want.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But acting out is usually typically something you're trying to hide or stuff down.
Yeah. I try to hide my shadow side when I need to let them out every now and then.
For sure.
Yeah, like tonight.
Why you keep bringing up tonight,
I'm just
bro?
saying, this Friday, this fireplace, this shit got a little twinkle in my eye. I'm just saying, though, bro.
I'm like, nigga, do I owe you something? He like tonight, nigga, we about to get fucked up
It's
tonight.
Halloween.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. It's a Halloween creeping in, man.
That's what it is, man.
Too, and I think I react a little bit too because I'm such a mom. Like he only goes with his dad every other weekend, so I'm buckled down. I don't do nothing when I have my son. So then when I be booked by the time my weekend
You ever get to the
comes.
point where it's like, where you be in such a mom mode that you be like, like, man, I'm finna go out. Like, I ain't no old ass mom. I still got it. Like that kind of, I still got it.
Yeah, I mean, that's why, like, when I don't have him, I had to kind of chill out. Like, dang, you ain't got to go out every weekend. You ain't got your son. Like, chill out.
That's crazy.
But because when I'm with him, like, it's all about him in a sense. I had to, like, shift that a little bit to do more self-care just for me because I started, like, not doing stuff just because, especially since he's a toddler. Like,
I was trying to ask you that too, like as far as like you going out, like, do you actually feel like you still got it? Do you have that mentality like, I still got it? Do you feel like I'm just saying, like, do you feel that you have this need to go out to prove that you still
Nah, I ain't never been
whatever?
like
I
that.
kind of do.
Do you? I think that's a guy thing.
I ain't gonna lie. I be dating some motherfuckers. Boy, I shouldn't even be dating. Boy, they young as hell, bro. And I realize that, but again, I'm admitting it. I definitely like, especially I've been a little on my health kick lately, and I'm just trying to get in shape.
And you got to be conscientious of that too, because.
But I still do it.
But
what do you mean about what you mean by that though? What you feel like because they're too young or what? Like what? I don't.
You know like, that's not what you really want, is it?
Because
I don't find that strange, bro. I'm like, you date a young chick. What you do? Like
no, the fact that
you don't feel like y'all in alignment.
There's an ego thing. Like we getting a little older. You feel me? Like to where there's definitely a little endorphin hit or whatever when I know I can still pull a young 20-year-old. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing.
I think it's crazy that you think like that.
Really?
Because I would think I will find it easy to do it being older because I would think in their eyes they're looking at you well established. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Well, that too, but like I guess as far as like in a health, like I could keep up type of thing. Like I can still move and keep up and go a few days. Yeah. Like that's
and that's the thing too. I kind of feel like people my age aren't really out like that. Like I mean, I'm 37, but like I feel like I get popped at by like 27-year-olds and 25-year-olds. I do look younger, but like
for me, that don't do nothing to you.
I would have never guessed your age.
I get that all the time.
Yeah, I would have never guessed that.
Yeah, I get dudes be thinking I'm lying. Like I really have to show my. Like,
that don't give you that got to give you some sort of ego.
I mean, it's good. I feel good. I'm like, okay, well, shit, I don't look like I'm creeping up on 40, so that's a good thing. Yeah, but then I'm like, I can't do nothing with you, bro.
Yeah, but it do because I had a friend of mine. She just told me a story about that. Where they was at the park, she with her baby and everything, and I guess some guy tried to get at her, and he was hella young, and she was like, "Oh shit, I was about to get his pussy at the park." You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think
too, because I'm celibate, so I'm not even tripping off of that part of it. So
that's a real wave right now. I've been hearing that word a lot.
Because I just know that if I'd have jumped back in with somebody else, it wouldn't have made me feel better.
Yeah. So. What do you think is because that is a wave for real right now? The celibacy, I'm just working on me. I'm not dating right now. What do you think is triggering that right now in this day and age?
I think because I know I had to go through this last one to know exactly what I want and what I don't want. And I feel like I'm selling myself short if I settle for anything less than that.
I think that wave is from what she was saying earlier, like that getting out of a relationship and just trying to dive back into another one. It's just like now everybody, I feel like it's starting to like, hold up, let me get my shit together.
You know why too though? I think because quarantine taught me to be okay with being dolo and not having nothing to do.
Being able to learn yourself.
Being by myself and being okay with that. Like, I'm content. Like, I make enough to live in my own place. Like, you know, a lot of people in relationships in the Bay because they need roommates, you know? I'm good. Like, I got money. I could travel when I want to. My son is taken care of. I co-parent with his dad sufficiently 90% of the time. You know, I have friends that are really close to that I trust. So I'm not lacking for anything in a sense. I have gratitude. So it's like if somebody comes into my life at this point, like they're gonna have to be contributing or adding to it because I'm full right now.
Yeah, I feel that way too for sure. I asked the question because I see there's a big wave of that, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing; it's a beautiful thing. I'm just saying I've noticed that that's been a trend right now, and I wonder when does that. Where does that lead some people? Like I see some women that are, especially with kids, like I'm just focusing on me. I'm focused on my kids. I ain't dating. I ain't doing this and this. At what point does a woman get to the point where like, okay, now I'm ready to start dating again? Because I feel like sometimes people, they get in that independent. I think we talked a little bit about that. Like we get in that like independent mode. Like it's just me and my kids. I don't need no man. This and this and that.
Yeah.
Where does that like lead?
See, I've never been in a place where I felt like I didn't need a man. I've been in relationships though where they be like, I'm hella independent, and they're like, damn, you trying to carry all the groceries upstairs? I'm up, you know, like. But it's just I'm so used to that because I've been on my own for so long but I'm still open to it in a sense of like, if somebody is coming to me, I'm just not settling anymore. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's like,
what does that mean?
And not even in the sense
down.
Because women like to throw that word around, and to me, I just feel like, why do you, me being me, feel like, why do you think that you need this? Who are you to be like you need this? You know what I'm saying? Like you want to feel like you better than every man that you talk to. Is like who the fuck put you on the pedestal? You know what I'm saying?
And see,
so
I think of it.
So I'm just asking you genuinely, like what does that mean to you?
I get it because I feel like I put in enough work in myself physically, mentally, and spiritually. Like physically, I put myself in a place to where I've been in the 6 figures since I was 26. Yeah. You know, I own a business also on top of my full-time job. You know, I just came out with a book. But those are just things because that shit could go away, right? I can get into an accident tomorrow and something happened and all that shit is gone. But character-wise and what I've developed in my spirit, like who I am as a person, loyalty, everything that I bring to the table, who I could be as a wife, and knowing that I'm in a space and ready for that. I'm not going to be settling for somebody who can't match me on that or isn't in a position to be 100% whole themselves.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. What, like, somebody in that space and like, I'm doing self-care, I'm not dating right now, this and that. What characteristics would a man have to bring to you to be like, okay, my break's over. Let me try. You know what I'm saying?
I think most importantly, their core values have to align with mine. Like,
but how do you figure that out if you kind of just like, I'm not dating right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, where does that stop?
Instagram, nigga.
You know, I mean, I'm not okay. So what I should say is, I'm not dating right now. I just haven't had any suitors that I felt because like I had told when you were talking. It was this dude who was like, looked good on paper. Like he was a pilot. Like, I wonder if he'll see this. He was a pilot. HBCU grad. Like on paper, he was legit. Had told me like, you know, I just want to put it out there because I know what I want. You wouldn't even have to work if you didn't want to. I don't know what your salary is, but you know, I travel 2 weeks out of the month for work. I'm at home 2 weeks.
That sound like a me type of thing.
He was like,
baby, you ain't working. I ain't got time for that shit. So
you can fly wherever you want. He retired. I mean, was in the Navy, so you know he don't have no loan debt. It looked good, but I just was not. We didn't click on anything outside of that. Like he was substantial, could be a provider, but and it wasn't like, and I know y'all probably like, she into them bad boys. It's like, no.
We're not here to judge.
No, like,
but we
like what you like.
Right. He didn't, our spiritual alignments weren't, he was like almost kind of right wing, like everybody should be getting the vaccination. Like it's stuff that didn't really align with me, music wise. Couldn't vibe on. It was like I was trying to find something,
like the energy
to vibe with him on where we related to. Because in that instance,
you're like, I just need one thing to fucking to deal with you, but you fucking checking all the wrong boxes.
I couldn't get with it because it's like. I wasn't attracted to him. I'm not that type of person. Like, it's girls who be like, cha-ching, like, what's up, right? But I can't fake the funk on that because it's not
it's hard
who
to
I
fake
am
the
to the core.
It's different. I think it's different with females than it is for men. Just like, I'm pretty sure you cut that off, right? You cut off that relationship.
But see, and that's the crazy part, and this would turn into a whole nother conversation. He was very like, when I've cut somebody off in a sense of, I've been in a place where I don't ghost people, right? I keep it 100. I'm like, called him and was like, I just don't think that we're on the same path.
Very immature.
Yeah.
Very good.
And the reaction with him was even different in a sense of, I'm like, oh, he's a man, And he was like, he wanted to know why. And I told him, and I was very transparent with him, and he was like, well, I appreciate that, and maybe we'll, cross paths in the future.
Damn.
Yeah.
Did that make you be like, God damn,
Makes
he
you wanna
really
get
is
that nigga
good,
back.
but damn, we still ain't vibing, but damn, you almost had
we
me
could have
here.
been friends, but I think it kind of hurt his ego a little bit. I could tell he was bothered by it, but he still took it like in a respectful way, which I appreciate.
I mean, because at the end of the day, what are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? I can't kidnap you and be like, you mine, man. It's
oh my God! But it's like I was talking to two dudes. Like I had to tell the other dude that too. Who wanted to take
she
me
ain't
on
no
a date.
break.
This is last
She said, well, I was talking to two. Well, listen. This is what
they both. I actually went on a date with him, the guy but the other one, it's like the dates kept getting messed up because he wasn't listening to what I was telling him. He was trying to take me on a date at like 9:00 at night.
That's a flag. Yeah.
I said, who eats dinner at 9? And he's like, you're not working with me or trying to compromise. I said, no, I'm not, because I don't eat dinner at 9. So, I mean, we can try it.
Did you hit him with the B word? The boundary word? Did you hit him with the boundary?
I didn't hit him with that, but I was implementing it for sure. And so I just told him, like, no, I don't eat at 9. I eat, between 6 and 7, and we could pick another day. And he was like, well, we could find something to get into. Another red flag.
I love that. Yeah, I love that word right there.
Why don't you come to the house and chill?
Yeah.
I'm like, nah. You wanted to take me out on a date, take me to dinner. When you figure it out, hit me back. So then the next time he wanted to take me out, he wanted to take me to the Pink Elephant. I'm like, bruh. He's trying to get me lit.
Yeah. For sure.
And I'm talking to my friends about it. I'm like, maybe I'll just go. My friend's like, you gonna go to Pink Elephant, you not drinking?
So, okay, so let me stop you there. What made you go into that? Well, what made you go into that mode?
Because I was like, I kind of like the Pink Elephant,
Not nothing to do with him. Not nothing to do with
no questioning it? Or
you wanted to go, but you didn't want him to think that that's what was going on. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like, this was like a first date. And so for me, it was a second date because he had took me to breakfast, but he was looking at the waitress the whole time, which is when I should have cut him off.
Flag after flag.
Yes. So
I'm like, what's wrong with that? It's fucking attractive.
I mean, if you my dude, and it's like my dude, I'm like,
so first date.
I'm really free, like when I'm in a relationship. So if my dude like, damn, she got a fat ass, I'm like, damn, she do,
Yeah.
But like, come on, bro, you don't even know me. Like, you don't know if I'm like that or not. So it's like you should be on your A game at this point.
Put him in that box, didn't you?
Yeah.
Sure did. Like Woody.
Them boxes, I'm telling you.
Yeah. So it was. I had thought it over, and I was like, I'm not going to Pink Elephant with this dude because he's gonna try to get me drunk, and I already know what he think he's about to do, and that's not happening.
Spiritual side took over.
Yeah. And so when I told him, being honest, different reaction. He started posting shit on Instagram.
Oh shit! He
posted a whole little thing about me. People are so judgmental, and when you're trying to be nice to them, it was like less than 10 minutes after. I was like,
what was that? Waiting to exhale? Oh, shit. Complain. Don't nobody want your ass.
And we going back and forth through text messages. I skip over to IG and I look. I'm like, look, did you just post about me? And he's like, that wasn't even about you. I said, bye. I just blocked him.
Hit him with the bye, huh?
So I guess you can be ratchet and spiritual at the same time.
Yes, and I guess what I'm getting from it, you just picking. You got to be. I guess as we mature and get more wise, we're just more selective in when we get ratchet.
Right, time and a place.
That's,
for sure.
That's the better.
For
yes.
sure. Because you see that it gets you further.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It does. It gets you further.
It does.
That's dope.
And further with people and in situations.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I'm leaving with. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be very particular on who I let see my ratchetness.
Yeah. Right.
Who I bless who with my ratchetness.
Would you curse with that motherfucker?
Yeah. Because that motherfucker's fun, man. I ain't gonna lie. That man,
it is
it's
fun
a
to
fun
hear
man. That's a fun man. But
You're like, you just taking it wrong. He didn't mean nothing by that. He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
But yeah, that's what I'm gonna take from this, man. We'll see when we get done with this. We got the night is young, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
dope. So
I like y'all. I'll let y'all into my ratchet world.
your book, tell us a little bit about it.
So the book came as an idea. I have daily a daily routine where I wake up in the morning, I meditate, read something like a devotional. But a lot of the books were like super religious, and I kind of didn't feel like it resonated with me culturally. So I was like, I'm gonna write one, and so I couldn't find it like Amazon, Barnes & Noble, nothing. I couldn't find anything. So then I'm a writer naturally. I write poetry. And so I'm like, I'm gonna just write something that I could read throughout the year. And then I had talked to somebody about it at the time, and found a publisher, somebody I knew from high school, and that's how this came about.
Dope.
Had a little bumps in the road, but it's here.
How long did it take?
It took a year. It was supposed to take 6 months, but
I'm like, shit, a year. That ain't
I'm about to
shit.
say, I thought that was pretty
I'm
quick.
like, I'm like that shit. I'm like, damn.
But so kind of going into it without going into it. It was originally supposed to be co-written by me and another person, and that person's heart wasn't really into it like I was. And plus they had a whole bunch of other projects going on. So it kept kind of getting delayed, pushed off to the side, even though, I was diligently working at it. They were putting as much as they were able to put into it. And then that situation kind of, ended. So it became a solo thing, which I think from a spiritual component, it was something that I needed to do to grow and develop as a person, to know that I could go in as something alone and not be fearful of it and not be scared of what consequences that don't even exist may have come out of it. It's just the fear of putting yourself out there. When you have somebody standing next to you, you kind of feel like,
they got my back. They kind of gas you up a little bit.
But when you go in it by yourself, you have so many doubts. But ultimately, it's been really well received. I had to go in and change some of the content, change the title, change the cover. And it's truly mine. So
that's nice. That probably hits a lot different now too.
It sure does.
It came out like it was supposed to.
Like the day that I got the book at the house, I was looking at it like, I can't believe I wrote
shit.
this.
That's dope.
Because but I manifest a lot in my life. Like
I just met you and I'm happy for you.
Thank you. I mean, for real, I manifest a lot in my life. Like I went to college with one semester paid for, in DC. I had only been one other time. Nobody in my family went to school. So it's like when I put my mind to stuff, there's really nobody that can stop me at this point. I'm so resilient. That's just my character.
And you want to know what I think is the good, I want to say the good way of getting out of that mindset to feel like the failing part of putting out something is knowing why you did it.
It's the intention.
Yeah. So it's just cause I used to do music, and when I put out my project, that's all that mattered to me, cause I worked hard on that shit. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
So it's I didn't put this out. I put it out for people to listen to it. But at best, I was glad that I put it out for me. You know what I'm saying?
Because for me, it was if it was just me who used this shit every morning,
Yeah.
if it was just me who looked,
and that was your intention.
Exactly, exactly. But I believe in it so much, and reading the content and going back in it, because of course, if you wrote it a year ago, you still kind of, I don't memorize it, but I'm like,
it's a need for it. People need stuff like that.
And it's real easy. You don't have to read through the whole thing. It's a thick book, and it's you could just pick a page, read it, and then go about your day. And typically when you land on something within the book, it usually resonates with you, or something that you've gone through, or something somebody else is going through, and you can share that with them. And that was the whole purpose. The whole purpose is not to sell it, it's to get it in people's hands.
Right.
Just because I feel like it'll be something that they could grow from. Because
you're not selling the book. You're selling the time that you put in.
And the content.
That's the payout is the time that you put into it. It's not that
into developing the content that could help somebody. Because that's me. Like, I like to help people, and I feel like when somebody's having a bad day, they could turn to a page and read something that might help them out. You know.
Yeah. Definitely. It definitely resonates too. Like I've been posting the little pages, and like I said, people be DMing me, "Hey, what book is that? Isn't that?" And I send them those.
And it's so easy.
Men and women too.
Oh, really?
That's what I'm real interested in. I was like, yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's
I like that.
So the fantastic thing about this book is that she has 365 days of quotes and messages, I guess you could say.
Affirmations.
So
affirmations.
So that's the reason why it's easier to like digest. It's not like you have to read through the whole book to understand what's going on. It's day by day. So just pick it up, pick a day, and go on.
Yeah,
go on.
Like we did. What we do? We picked one.
So I picked one. I didn't want to get into it this soon, but
I want to hear it.
So we came here, and I decided to pick 35 for obvious reasons, and it hit home. So the quote was, never lay down twice to give people a second chance to walk all over you. And then the paragraph kind of summarized like dealing with people that's around you, but that's not in your best interest. And and I just feel like a lot of people do that, especially family. So and as far as like a relationship goes, if you've been hurt once, or you know the pain that somebody's giving you, like why would you put yourself in that situation to feel it again?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, giving people second chances.
Like I know what fire feels like. I don't.
Why do you keep touching it?
I'm not going to keep doing this to see if it's going. Or maybe maybe it's their way of getting immune to it. I don't know. Getting used to the situation.
Nah, because if somebody if they haven't shown you that they're different, why keep setting yourself up for that? And for sure, that's just a reminder, because typically people end up being in situations like that, and it's like somebody come back and they talk about changing, and
you want to know why that was dope
different
for me too. Is just that because what that number means to me, that in particular sits with that whole
dynamic of that situation, for sure.
And it's just like
for sure. Because you be loyal to something that you know you shouldn't be.
I shouldn't be at all.
For sure.
Yeah. That's a trip to have that correlated together. Yeah.
But that's how God works. That's how the universe works. God, universe.
Hey, you here for a reason, man.
Yeah.
You here for a reason. This shit is great. I'm finna be in it. I think this shit is dope. This shit is dope. Like this is.
Nah, that's what's up.
This is dope.
Should I read mine?
Yeah,
I did. I'm born. I did 2-3 for my birthday. January 23rd. In case y'all want to buy me something. Here goes mine.
You gonna plug that Cash App or?
Yeah, right. So Grand Rising. Get your day started and write down one thing that you're grateful for, one thing that you love, one thing that makes you sad, one thing that makes you happy. All of these emotions are a part of you. Feel them and express them in healthy ways. And I definitely fuck with this. This actually really does resonate with me, especially lately, because I feel like life, sometimes it can kind of like throw us out of that gratitude mode. And so I think writing things down, something that makes you happy and something that makes you sad, and even digging into it more, like asking why. Like, why does that make me sad? Like constantly doing almost like an inventory of things, you know what I mean? And I don't know, I really like that, because it just makes me remember certain things and not get caught up in the day-to-day just motions or that mouse on the wheel type of mentality. It kind of forces you to stop.
Checking in with yourself.
A little self-check,
That's important.
Exactly.
Checking in with yourself is very important, because you got to really figure out. Sometimes we run on autopilot,
For sure.
and that can be dangerous.
And you want to? And I think the world set us up to not have time to think. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta make sure we do this. We gotta get the kids. We gotta go to work. We gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have time. I gotta hurry up and go to sleep so I can go up and do this shit all over again. It's like we don't have the time to sit here and think. And that's the reason why, like, growing up, as I got older, I started spending more time with myself. Like, I never really was big on going out to clubs and stuff like that, because just that. I wanted to know why I feel the way I feel. Why was I doing these things? Why was I attracted to this? Why was I doing this? You know what I'm saying? And I learned that by talking to myself. You know what I'm saying? Getting these answers.
See, and they tell you not to, though, right?
So
but
yeah, I know.
Everything
right?
they tell you not to do, you probably should be doing.
Yeah,
in some degree.
To me, like it's impossible not to talk to yourself.
No,
if you
it
ain't talking
is.
to yourself, then something wrong with you.
Yeah.
It's completely the opposite for sure.
Yeah, for sure. What would you say you have like a favorite?
Yeah, I was just about to ask you
The first one.
Really? Let me remind. I've
Yeah.
heard the first one. Let me remind.
It's Bosses.
Oh yeah, I like that because that's the one I put the Rick Ross track on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to remind everybody what
Yeah,
that is?
for sure. So the first quote is day one, which is bosses do what they want and others do what they can. So it's like, which one will you choose to be today? Don't allow fear to put you outside of your greatness while allowing you to settle for the minimum. No one believes that you have everything it takes to be great today. Being a boss is not just a title, it's a state of mind. Mm-hmm. I'm a boss because I said so.
I love that one.
Yeah.
That one had me fired up. I ain't even gonna lie. That's what I was like, oh yeah, I'm about to, I'm reading it.
Yeah, because I feel like, people look at stuff as though they measure it up to other people's standards, when realistically it's what you feel like you've accomplished, right?
Yeah.
Like, it may not look like the same for everybody else. Like, it could just be that, I lived another birthday, For some people, or it's just that I'm able to feed my kids or whatever the case may be. It's just what's your standard of being in control of your life. And a lot of that has more to do with your ability to know yourself and control your emotions.
Yeah,
you're winning if you're able to do that.
It's crazy that you brought that up because I remember, I don't know if we talked about it on here before, but I remember I think it was on Warstar or something that went viral when they had gave a surprise party to a dude, and he just broke down crying, little hood dude.
Oh no, I didn't.
And
see
then
it.
and they was kind of like joking about it. I'm just like, damn, that's messed up because they don't really know why that meant the way it did to him. You know what I'm saying? Like he probably just never felt the love like that before. He probably just got out of some shit. You know what I'm saying? And then they threw a surprise party, and he just felt like, damn, this is real love. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I just thought that was odd that they joked about it. You know what I mean? And I'm like, that's
I swear
weird
people
to me.
behind these screens, they say something else.
They be hiding emotions.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, like how you were talking about vulnerability. And that, I think too, in the book, it really makes you kind of think and tap into yourself to kind of, check in with your feelings and know. Because on social media, it's like not allowed to be that way, especially for men. Like, that's why I was surprised that you said a lot of men were.
Yeah. That's what I was
into
like, that's what's up. I think too, with your book in particular, it's the wording, like the gas up, you know what I mean? It has shit that resonates with us, you know what I mean? The boss. I know when I read that, the first one, I was like, oh, I am a boss. I think I was on Instacart a little bit after. I'm getting all organic, man. I'm a boss. I was like, yo, give me the organic with this and this. Like, you know what I mean? So it's crazy how like powerful reading some words will actually like affect your actions. You know what I mean?
I always say words are like spells.
Yeah, they really are.
Spelling.
Yeah, I was about to say that. They call it spelling for a reason.
Right. For sure. Yeah. So you got to be careful what you put in and what you view. I mean, because even like how I was telling y'all in the, that it was hard for me to put myself out there because I don't like being on social media that much either. Yeah. Like I take breaks, like 6 months breaks, 3 months where I don't even log on. I delete everything from because
those some good long breaks.
Yeah,
people saying 30 days is long.
No, I've done like 6 months, 3 months because I feel like you see so much it's feeding you. You read stuff that's not beneficial, and then people are like, just stop following it. But yeah, you go on a rabbit hole when you're on social media. You click on one page and it goes to another page, and it just leads you to that.
How many times have I been here and was like, we'll talk about something like, oh, I'm gonna check my phone to see what this is. And then I get on there and I'm like, damn, I forgot why I grabbed this fucking phone.
Yeah.
Like I done got sucked in something else and I forgot why I even got this shit. But that's
so in a world full of mess and negativity, I just wanted to, create something that I resonated with the wording, that I felt like I could talk freely and be myself and not feel judged, just not, and like really just, okay, all right. I'm good, reading whatever it is.
I really like this though. I think this is fantastic. I'm gonna let you know about it in a year from now. So,
I know, right?
I know
because I'm gonna read one a day.
I love that though, because then people don't have an excuse like I
not
can't
to
read
read.
this. So, like you can read one page.
Oh my gosh, because people stick with that from the time they finish school and they be like, I hate reading. You know?
Yeah.
Which
sure.
I mean, I made it so easy, simple. Shout out to my publisher for making the words super big. You know,
Yeah, no,
that was a good move.
That was the first thing I complimented her on. I was like, look, I can't read, so this is these big words. It's not the big words, but the big wording is dope. But I wanted to say, damn, I just completely drew a blank. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. I was about to say something about the damn book, man. Filler.
Was there? Oh, I got to answer a question or interesting question. What was there ever a time where you were like that you felt like giving up, like you felt like not finishing it?
For
and
sure.
What got you out of that rut and got you to the end, to the finish line?
Well, for me, it's because I had put so much into it with the co-writer that I was doing it with, and I think I kind of was clinging on to him because he kind of puts himself out there a little bit more, and I've never been a person who's been able to do that, so I was kind of riding on that coattails. And then so when we parted ways or whatever, and I ended up having to do it by myself, I was just like, do I really want to do this? Then I started getting word back that people were doubting that I'd be able to finish it.
Use that as some gas. Yeah.
Oh, anybody who tells me like, oh, you can't do that. Like that lights a fire under me like no other. Like
that shit is. That shit is the fuel.
I remember somebody told me I wasn't even gonna graduate high school, and I was like, I could do that in my sleep, like and come out with 3 degrees, right? Like, come on, bro. So anybody. Like I hate that it has to be that way though. But when I
don't think it's nothing wrong with that though.
It's not.
It's because some people would take that criticism and be like, man, fuck, maybe I don't. But the fact that we can twist that shit and turn it into something positive, I think that's a powerful thing.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh yeah, hold up.
I think the only way that could happen is when somebody tell you that you really like look up to, and they tell you that shit ain't for you, don't even do that. Then I think that shit hit different. Like
it do, but see, that's how it all started with me though. Like people who were closest to me did that, and then I really felt like I had to prove it. You know, so for me, it's something that spirals, and it really like I feel at that point I get into a place where I feel like there is nothing that I cannot do. You know, people thought like my life was gonna be done after I had my son, but I'm like, come on, my son about to have a passport just like me. So you know, and even before him, like I traveled the world, like I've done things, and I'm like, so why would I not think that I could do something else? You know, and
that's you're already doing at
exactly. And then through that, it was gonna help other people feel the same way. You know. So knowing that they can do this, you know, you can be in a place of following your dreams and doing what you want to do. You just have to believe that you can. It's you versus you. It's never you versus anybody else.
Exactly.
Always.
It's all inner dialogue in your mind.
For sure. Because the only thing that's stopping you is stuff that you've created that haven't even happened yet.
And what I want to say before I grow up, before I got a brain freeze, is I can't even talk. But I was just going to say how not how easy it is to read, but as far as like, you're not obligated to read it you're not supposed to read it at once is the thing. It's like, this is a day by day book.
Right.
So it's like, there's no excuse for anything. It's like, okay, I'm only reading this a day. Like, cause I feel like if I read day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and like at a time, it's like, it just don't sit right. It's like doing that first day up, like, okay. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling today. That's what we're doing.
Because it gives you an opportunity, because you should be taking care of your spiritual wellness just as much as you get up to brush your teeth. You know what I'm saying? Like, get up, set your intentions for the day. How do you want your day to be?
Yeah, I try to be better.
Yeah, the day be so different when you do that.
Yeah, for sure. So meditate, sit with yourself and just sit in silence, you know, for a little bit. I mean, and meditation can be anything. I clean up and vacuum. That's meditation to me, you know?
Anything that puts you in a trail of thought. To
where you're not just like, distracted by TV, liquor, sex, like other stuff. You know, you can be in a place of being with you and within yourself and be good. So spiritual gas up gives you an opportunity to check in with yourself, and you should always be in alignment when it comes to physical, mental, and spiritual. And you should be taking care of it like you take care of your body.
Yeah, definitely.
Like you take care of your car, like you take care of... You want to know what's crazy? Is that we only get one of us but we treated it less than anything else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's like
sure.
you would take your car to get a maintenance every 3 months or whatever the case is, but you
don't check in with
you don't go to the doctors. You don't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? You just that's wild, man, because you ain't getting this shit back.
Nah, not in this moment, in this time. No, not at all.
Or even just the fact that like people expect certain things out of their life, but don't take the time to really ask themselves questions like, what do I want out of life? Or what do I want to achieve? Or how am I conducting myself? Am I actually doing things conducive to those goals? Like not doing that, but then expecting some good shit to happen is like crazy. And that's why I like your book, because it's like a constant reminder every day to kind of get you in that space.
You have to be intentional, because everything is on the basis of intention. Even coming out with this book was on the basis of intention. My intention was for it to help gas myself up, but in turn, like, hey, if I'm publishing it, it could help other people too, you know? And you should live your life with intention, and things manifest in a way when you have good intentions and you know and believe that you're worth all the stuff that you want. All of that stuff just comes with no effort.
I think that's part of the reason why I'm not good at apologizing for the stuff that I like believe in, because it's just like I know why I feel the way I feel.
Like the only thing you apologize for is how they feel about it. Like I'm sorry, you have empathy. Because
it's like you're not finna make me feel bad about
why
I want what I want. You know what I'm saying?
You should never feel bad for choosing yourself.
It's like I like what I like, and that's it.
That's a hard thing to learn.
It is because people stay in situations like that because of that, and it's never, and it stunts your growth. And it's like, I'm sorry that it made you feel this way, but I'm not sorry for choosing myself first, because I got to live with me for the rest of my life. I got to be this person.
You are not my priority.
And we not working in this together where we're compromising and we are in that type of situation, then it's like I have to, because I have to show up and be a mom to somebody who didn't even ask to be here. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So it's like I have to be a happy person in a sense of just living my life fully. And if you're not contributing to that, then I'm not going to apologize for walking away from it, because I feel like I might be hindering your growth too. You know?
Was there any like people in particular that you would like come to mind that like kind of helped you, get through some of those times?
He helped me with developing this.
Yeah, or just like when you did kind of have people doubting you, was there other people that kind of compensated?
I got my circle for sure.
Yeah.
My circle, my go-to circle is like my girls who are like my sisters for sure, like-minded, on the same frequency. Not chasing because stuff just comes to us for real because of how we live.
Say, get that boss terminology back.
People who I look up to, like one of my closest friends, she is a homeowner. She, was living her life in a relationship that was keeping her stagnant for 20 years. She separated from that situation, bought a house in less than a year.
She read page 1 for sure.
She said, gotta get to work.
Right. She is the epitome of page 1. Yeah. My friends who are there, who are solid for their families, show up. They are the pillar for their families. They, they're just bosses, not just in their physical, but just in their mental, and they want to learn and want to progress. Like, I don't have people I talk to that we gossip. That's a low vibrational situation. I don't talk about people.
I'm thinking about that now. I'm like, damn, do I fucking...
Nah. I mean, it used to be like that, but now it's like we talk about shit. When our next vacation, what NFTs. My partner just started a Forex school. Come on.
This is how I knew I got real, is when I no longer get on Warstar, bro. Like,
I'm changing. I'm changing.
Because it was like, it was just like a habit. Like, let me check see what's going on. It's down. I don't even.
Nah, because it convolutes. It was sure. My other partner who got a wine company. Like it's I try to keep myself around the people, and the more you set boundaries and saying no, you'll see those people fall off and new people come in that match your energy.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And
birds of a feather, man. That's what's up. But, real quick though, I'm curious, not to cut you. I'm curious though. Do you have any other plans of anything in the future?
I think so. I'm a writer, so for sure it's gonna happen.
Like a number 2.
I don't know. We got to see how. What comes up, Sometimes you have to. They say what Mary J. Blige's best music cut. What she?
You got to go through some shit.
I mean, I don't want my stuff to be going through something for it to be like good, but in order for y'all to see, make sure y'all go to thespiritualgasup.com or on IG, The Spiritual Gas Up. And you could go to Amazon, The Spiritual Gas Up. Yeah.
Yes,
sir.
Yes.
Yes,
And get her book.
Shit, go to my page. I'm posting this shit
I know
every day.
Alex been showing me love.
I would if I was on Instagram a lot, but I'm definitely finna post this. So
Thank you.
get
I
the spiritual
appreciate
gas stuff
y'all.
for sure.
For
And,
sure.
we
And I'm from
appreciate you
Richmond,
having-
where half the time shit like this don't be happening.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
she's from the rich. She's from the
got
Bay.
extra
Support, man.
Yeah,
This
please
is
do.
this is love.
We out here. Spiritual gas up. Man.
Yes.
You'll be back. We'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, case closed, I guess.